What's up? I'm Captain Mel Asylum, and here's another sip of Galactic Tea. Foundation. Foundation is one of the shows that I learned about from the Sci-Fi Queens. So thank you, Sci-Fi Queens. You can catch them every other Friday here on YouTube, and they talk about science fiction shows, movies, books, and women in science fiction. Not science fiction. Well, women in science fiction. Women in real science, like real, actual female scientists. In here on planet Earth in this dimension. Which dimension am I in right now? I don't know. So if it got to you, then we're in your dimension. A foundation is something that I found very cool. Not only was the science, the fiction of the science, very sound, very creative, there were things in it that I don't normally get to see when it came to the expansion of human technology and knowledge, but also um, as far as the social constructs when it comes to religion and belief. Like some go off on a tangent through simply using faith and stereotypes to live their life, and some use science as their freaking religion. Like they have a religious sector of math, of was it calculus? I don't remember what it was. Like they treat everything like a religion, but the biggest thing was the metaphor for change, and how one, religion is something that can stagnate people, very much so. Thinking that this is the only way to do things and we have to hold on to it when the only consistent in the universe is change. Time changes, molecules change, we change. If we don't change with things, their governing system is a set of clones of one dude, and they remind me of the Fates. So you have the youngest one, the middle age, the one, and the guy in his prime, and then the older one, and they're all together supposed to be the governing body, the king. Um, and there was this one episode closer to the end of the first season, I guess, where in a ceremony he gets called out, and like we need change because change is how things exist. And I'm like, yes, and says it right in front of the daytime king, the prime middle aged king. He's in the age in the middle of the three. Not that he's middle aged. So he's maybe like 35, 40. Is that middle age? What is middle age? Is 40 middle age? And I say that wearing this shirt. Yay! Okay. Am I middle aged? I don't know. So I don't care. I'm here. We don't know how long we're gonna be there. I don't know what the middle of my life is gonna be. So she says it in front of him, and he gets insulted. His assistant gets insulted, and like you've seen things in the world change, but you think that you being consistent for 400 years is supposed to make things stable when that's like the thing that's probably making things bad in the first place. So yeah, I absolutely love that. I love messing with that, messing sci-fi with the concept of change needing to happen in order to survive, change needing to happen to make things safer, them sticking to something, some idea that is out of date is not helping. And as much change as they see, they still think that it's important to try to maintain um, consistency. Also, they believe that they all have the same soul as the person that they were cloned from, which we know is not. Scientifically is not possible. Each clone is a completely different person. It's not only that whole boat example where if you replace all the wood of the boat, is it still the same boat? But also, like, we are constantly changing and growing into new people. We see them grow and change because like at the beginning of their life, they have a rapid change growth because they can't, you can't have a baby king. So the first, like, I don't know, 2 decades of their life, they grow rapidly, and they can do that because they're clones. Um, so that they can have the develop brain to start learning how to be king, whatever that means, because they're just learning how to be that the persons that were there before them, then they just learn from the person before them and back down 400 years to the original that they were cloned from, which really reminds me of the concept of like a parent who thinks they're going to just turn their kid into a mini them. Like, I studied this in college, and you're going to study this in college, and you're going to get these grades because that's what I did, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, they don't work that way, and it's not working that way. And one of the biggest plots in there is that it's been prophesized that their lineage is not going to continue. Like, it can't. And that's another example of someone bringing up the fact that change has to happen. You cannot think that everything's just going to stay the same. Even them just killing off the other aliens, that's a change that you're encouraging, that you're making happen. And you still think that for some reason, consistency is what's going to make things work. Which reminds me of real life, where there's a lot of people who think that conserving certain ideas is best for people when change is the only thing that works for humans, because humans are constantly changing. The more we learn, the more we understand, the more we should adapt to that. And our big brains are the things that make us different from most of the other animals on this planet. The fact that we make buildings and everything else that we make, cook our food and all that stuff. We pick one little time period to say that is what we should always be at all times. We're not going to be here no more. Let me put it that way. I don't think that we can survive staying constant to one idea, one little picture of what humanity was in one tiny little part of the planet. That annoys me so much. So that was my review of Foundations, and I should probably give it some teacups. I think I want to give this 5 teacups because I love all the concepts of it. I love the fashion. Of course, I'm going to mention this, the aesthetic. I do like the politics because the politics is more philosophy than it is business. Normally, I don't like politics stuff. Like, if you tell me, "Oh, this is so good, it's a political drama," my brain's gonna shut off. Like, I don't do political dramas. Except for the fact that I've been watching Babylon 5 with the voices in hyperspace. Go check that out. There's so much more to Babylon 5 than just the political drama. So that's the part that I get into, because the politics is always driven by, you get to see the psychology behind what's driving people to do the political stuff. That I can get into. If it's just the political and the personal interactions are who slept with who, blah, 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 I get turned off. If they're too social, if they're not mental, emotional, personal growth, if it's just who's sleeping with who and who stabbed who or whatever, I get turned off. So stay safe. I'll see you out there. If you've gotten this far in this video, you may enjoy the Voices in Hyperspace, where me and some friends get together and talk about science fiction. I also have a book called Unrooting the System, available on Amazon. Go get yours. It's also on Unlimited, so if you want to read it for free, you can. And I would absolutely love to read your reviews and respond to them.